Good evening. Welcome to Chicago Acapella's Virtual Gala. I'm Matt Greenberg, Executive Director of Chicago Acapella. I'm so glad you have joined us tonight. I should start by saying, obviously, this is not the event we had originally envisioned for this evening. This was the night of our gala, our annual live gala event, and tonight was to be a tribute to Jonathan Miller, our founder and artistic director, who's about to step down after 27 seasons. That event has been postponed. We're going to do that next spring, May 22nd, 2021. But tonight, we still wanted to get together with all of you virtually. This COVID-19 crisis has deeply impacted the Chicago Acapella family, as it has everyone. And we're grateful to be able to connect with all of you, our subscribers, patrons, donors, and friends. This evening, we're going to have fun. Our singers are all here. We've got Jonathan Miller, and we have our special guest, Jeffrey Baer. We're going to fill you in on our future plans and tell you about Cabaret and our work with students all over the Chicago area. We're also going to draw the winner of our raffle prize, which is right here in this beautiful drum. And we're going to end with a toast, so have a glass ready for that. Of course, we can't really bring you a concert tonight. To do that, we all have to be in the same room at the same time. As you know, ensemble singing is about listening to each other. It's about adapting, tuning, being sensitive to nuances of tempo and dynamics and phrasing. So technology is wonderful, but it can't really replace what we do. Still, we do have music for you tonight. We're going to share some performances from past concerts, and the singers have put together 2 virtual performances, especially for this evening, including one that's going to be our grand finale tonight, so stay tuned for that. A couple of quick housekeeping items. Feel free to chat with us tonight. I know some of you are already. Just use that chat feature at the bottom of your screen to send us a message. We'd love to hear from you. We do recommend you use full screen mode and that you quit other apps that are using the internet just for the best viewing experience. We're also, of course, going to let you know how you can support Chicago Acapella. Without our actual in-person gala this year, tonight is an important opportunity to ensure that we come through this crisis. And your support is what makes all of our music and our education programming possible. So you probably received a text message on your phone welcoming you to tonight's event. If you just click on the link from that text, it'll take you directly to our gala portal. That's a very easy way to make a donation. You can also visit chicagoacapella.org/support and donate there. And we'll talk about other ways that you can support us in just a few minutes. But first, I want to bring in the gang and say hello to all of our singers and Jonathan and Jeffrey. There you all are. My gosh, you look fantastic. Hi, everybody.
Everyone.
Hey, cheers.
Thank you.
Great to see you all. You all look fantastic, and I can't wait to hear from each and every one of you. And to get things rolling, to get things sort of launched here, I'm going to turn it over first to our wonderful soprano, Carrie Plackey. Hey, Carrie.
Hi, everybody. It's so great to have all of you here with us tonight. And so exciting to see all of us all dressed up. Some of us have been posting on social media today using the hashtag @HomeWithCAC. We would love to know how you are enjoying this gala tonight, whether you're all dressed up or in your pajamas on your couch. Feel free to take a picture and post it using the hashtag @HomeWithCAC. We would love to see your pictures and how you are enjoying this incredible night. I have to say, we are really sad that we didn't get to sing our Swing, Swing, Swing concert for you last month. It was such a bummer to have to miss that. But the good news is that we will bring it to you next April to close out our 2021 season. I am really missing my Chicago Acapella family. I miss singing with them, and more importantly, I think I miss laughing with them. We have such a wonderful time together, and it's really been sad not to see them twice a week for our rehearsals. But I'm really lucky that I have a wonderful family at home, and we have had a lot of time together. We've had movie nights and game nights, And we realized that for the first time, we are at home all together to watch TV live. We've been watching The Voice, and my girls, all of a sudden the other night, they said, Mom, can we vote for our favorite singer? And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, we can. We're all home. We can vote for our favorite singers. And it was this thing that we've just never been able to do before. It was really fun. And I think aside from that, we have a long list of projects we're trying to do. And I would say the biggest project that we've accomplished is our sourdough starter. It's taken me a little bit. It's been about 5 weeks. And we're baking bread like crazy and lots of things with our discards. And it's just been super fun. So I feel really lucky that as hard as this time has been, I have a great group of people at home with me. I love my family so much. But now let's see what someone else in our group is doing. Our wonderful alto, Chelsea Lyons, is up next. She's going to talk to you a little bit. Hey, Chelsea.
Hi, Carrie. If I could vote for my favorite singer, I would vote for you. I'm home. I wish that I could vote, but I don't watch The Voice. I have been spending my time, as many of you know, I am a little bit of an amateur bartender with my fiance. And if you went to our Fiesta Coral Mexicana concert, you'll know that I have a great margarita recipe. So as the days have been warming up, I have been having a great time experimenting at the bar. But I must say, I miss you all. I miss our audiences. I know that we all miss singing for you. And I dearly miss my friends in Chicago a cappella. There really isn't another group in town that does what we do. The repertoire that we do, we are super multifaceted, from Renaissance to Baroque, world music, jazz, pop, musical theater. We really span the wide range of musical genres that we know that you all enjoy and that we enjoy singing. In addition to that, our group is so tight-knit. There isn't another group that I sing with that I can say, I know each and every singer as well as I know my friends in Chicago a cappella. And I'm so looking forward to getting back to the rehearsal room with you all. The laughs, as Carrie mentioned, and the hard work that we put in to our programs to bring to Chicago audiences. The first thing that is on our season for next year, which I am so looking forward to kicking off in October, is our fundraiser concert. We call it the Cabaret. Some of you might have been there last year, and it is on October 3rd in Evanston. It's a very special night because typically you see us all singing together in choral repertoire, but the Cabaret is the night that we all get to let our hair down. We pick our own songs, and some of us play instruments. I know that Joe is a fantastic pianist. I had no idea what a talented musician he was. And we pick our own songs. We do duets, musical theater, jazz, again, that whole gamut that Chicago a cappella can cover. And I hope that you'll join us on October 3rd. To whet your appetite, here are some special memories of my friends and I singing at last year's Cabaret. Take a look.
Well, hello, my old friend. How very wonderful to see you again. And I'm sure this probably isn't quite the time or the place, but what did you do to your face? I mean, what? With the eyes? You look like everything's a total surprise, like a hungry little hunting dog about to give chase. What did you do to your face?
revisiting those memories just makes me miss my musical friends that much more. And I hope that you will join us on October 3rd in Evanston. I should say, last year, it sold out. So get your tickets now if you want to come and join us for that special evening. You can get them on our website, chicagoacapella.org. Until I can get back in the rehearsal room with my colleagues, I will continue to enjoy walks outside in what was beautiful weather. It's a little gray now, but it was so beautiful and sunny today. I live in Rogers Park, and I may need to head in a western direction to my friend in West Rogers Park, Ryan Cox, our baritone. Ryan, what have you been up to?
Thank you so much, Chelsea. Yes, just a few blocks west in Rogers Park. I have been spending a lot of time at home in my new, call it the production studio. I work at First Congregational Church in LaGrange, and have been putting together virtual choirs with my wonderful volunteer singers. But I do miss my choir family with Chicago Acapella. I get to do things with my voice that aren't asked of me anywhere else. And going back to Chelsea with letting our hair down, you should see this without lots of product and a lot of blow dryer action. So come to the Cabaret and see how long my hair is come September. But besides trying to tame the mane, I've been taking lots of walks with the dog and hoping to play tennis one of these days as soon as the tennis courts are unlocked. But until that happens, you know, just doing what we can, and missing my family with Chicago Acapella. And another part of our family is our new music director, John Trotter. So he is going to be with us, and he has been with us for many years. So we know that we will be in excellent hands with John, and we can't wait to welcome him back to Chicago this fall. He's been on sabbatical in Europe this year, but he sent us this message to share with you all tonight.
Hi everyone, it's John William Trotter here at Cambridge University on a frosty morning. I wanted to get in touch and let you know how honored I am to have been asked to serve Chicago Acapella as artistic director in this next chapter. I'm so looking forward to working with our wonderful singers, their many talents and their flexibility and their appetite for adventure. Thank you to our supporters and to our audience who go on these adventures with us. We so look forward to singing for you, even singing with you at concerts and events in the years to come. See you soon.
Thank you, John. And now, going even farther west, for a while, we're going to pass to one of our fabulous sopranos, Megan Bell.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Ryan. You know, like Ryan and Chelsea, a lot of my colleagues live in Chicago or very close to Chicago. I'm the one who travels from the furthest distance, usually, to get to our rehearsals and performances. I live in St. Charles, Illinois, which is about an hour and a half west of Chicago. I live here with my husband and my 2 young children. My oldest child just turned 6 yesterday, and I have a 3.5-year-old. And we're also expecting our 3rd child at the end of July, maybe early August. We live out here on an acre of land, so we have had plenty of space to run around and enjoy the beautiful weather. Thankfully, before all of the stay-at-home order happened, I was already homeschooling my oldest daughter. So we already had our curriculum, we already had our learning at home routine together, but we really do miss our homeschool friends and groups. We are part of 2 local homeschool groups here in Illinois that are just fantastic. So we look forward to getting back to that hopefully in the fall. I have also been spending my time doing a lot of wonderful cooking. I love cooking. And I've also tried to really take advantage of this opportunity, kind of looking on the bright side and allowing myself to relax a little bit. So that's been very nice. But I really miss my friends and colleagues at Chicago A Cappella. We wish that we could be singing for you tonight in person. But if you'll stay tuned, we have 2 very special virtual performances coming up for you. This is what each of us has been working on for these past 2 months, and we're very excited to debut them for you tonight. There are so many things that I love about Chicago A Cappella. One of them is that despite the fact that we had to cancel the end of our season, Chicago A Cappella is still honoring all of our contracts, and the singers, the directors, and the staff are all still employed. It's amazing to be a part of an organization with so much integrity. So, I'd like to show you our video, Bridge Over Troubled Water. hope you enjoyed that. It was very special for us to put that together for you. And now I would like to introduce to you Catherine Camp, another soprano and a very good friend of mine. Catherine, how are you?
Hi, Megan. I'm doing great. It's wonderful to see you and to see all of our Chicago a cappella friends and family here tonight. I am here to give you a little sneak preview into the first show of our season, which is called Studs Terkel, Music to Our Ears. This kicks off our season at the end of October. For those of you who may not be familiar with who Studs Terkel was, he was a Pulitzer Prize-winning author. And the subjects of his books were often folks that we might think of as ordinary people. But Studs thought everyone was extraordinary, that everyone had a voice and deserved to be heard. You may have heard of one of his books, which was the inspiration for a Broadway show of the same title, Working. Well, Studs was also a radio personality. For 45 years, he was the host of a radio show in Chicago on WFMT, our classical music station. He interviewed thousands of people for that show, and that primary focus there were more famous people, so actors, conductors, artists, civil rights activists, politicians, you name it, he interviewed them. The goal of this show, which I curated, was to have Studs be the host for that evening, along with subjects of his interviews, and that the music you would hear would be inspired by their conversations. So during the course of that evening, we'll hear from, just to name a few, the fantastic performer, Harry Belafonte, the musician, Ravi Shankar, and we will hear from Marcel Marceau. Yes, the mime. He has some eloquent and insightful comments about performing and music. We will also hear from Helga Sandburg. She was a poet, and if that last name is familiar, it's because her father was Carl, a poet and historian. She will be sort of introducing us to a new work that is being written for us by a fantastic composer, Patrick Zimmerli. And the text of this poem that he's setting is Carl Sandburg's Chicago. I'm so excited for this program, and I can't wait to see you there. I would like to now pass the baton to an extremely talented colleague. Now, this guy, if you need a switch hitter, this is the guy you want on your team. You heard him playing piano and guitar in that Cabaret little segment that we played for you. He's a bass baritone who also sings tenor, and I feel like if we ask him to sing alto or soprano, he would do it. And he's everyone's favorite vocal percussionist. I'm also glad to let you know that he will be taking on another role with Chicago a cappella this coming season. With that, I'd like to introduce you to Joe Labazetta. Joe, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. My goodness, Catherine, that was a suspiciously generous introduction. You're buttering me up for something. I don't know what yet, but thank you all the same. I'll do my best to live up to that. And it just drove home how hard it's been to be apart from you, my dear, and all my a cappella compadres. And it's been very difficult being apart from you, our audience, our supporters. So we are looking forward to a hopeful future filled with compelling performance art and genuine engagement with a live audience and in person. So as you just heard Catherine talk about the fall program, I want to talk a little bit about what's coming next. I was asked to program the Holidays a cappella concert series in December. Of course, I said yes. I'm very much looking forward to this for two reasons. Well, for many reasons, but two reasons especially. One is that we have a new venue. We will be bringing Chicago a cappella for the first time to my home church of St. Josephat Parish. Some of you may know that what I do normally, most of my time is spent as director of music at the Church of St. Josephat in Lincoln Park, in the Lincoln Park neighborhood of Chicago, which is, so I'm excited for this, just not for the my personal connection, but also it's just a marvelous place to sing. It's got a huge vaulted ceiling, gorgeous Romanesque architecture, just a vast space. And so for choral music especially, it's just going to be a real treat for the eyes and for the ears. So I hope you can join us for, if not at St. Josephat, for one of the other 5 other concerts we have for Holidays a cappella. As for the program itself, which I'm excited to have put together, you're going to hear a little bit, there's going to be a little bit of something for everybody. There will certainly be some familiar Christmas favorites, some jazzy arrangements of those favorites. There will be some terrific Hanukkah music, including a new song for us from Matisyahu, the reggae hip hop pop artist who's very much in tune with his Jewish roots and expresses that through his art. So I'll be arranging a Matisyahu song for us. There will also be some beautiful sacred Christmas music, including some of my favorite plain chant, some of my favorite Renaissance polyphonic motets, and a gorgeous ethereal setting of the Magnificat by Arvo Pärt. And this final part was very important to me. I wanted to include some kind of musical tradition from a non-Western part of the world. So I thought, well, what could I do? What could I do that somebody else wouldn't do? So something that's kind of out of the box. And to me, the answer was pretty obvious. For the last 17 years or so, I have sung folk music from the Republic of Georgia. And they have a rich tradition of polyphonic singing, that is multiple voice parts at one time. They've been doing it for about 1,000 years. And they have a rich Christmas tradition, a very familiar tradition maybe actually to some of us, where they sing from house to house and they congratulate each other on the holiday, the new year, and wish many blessings upon that house and hope to be invited in for a treat. So we will be doing our version of Georgian wassailing at you. So we hope you can join us for this Holidays a cappella concert series. It's sure to be very fun. And now I want to hand it over to one of my favorite altos to sing with, the marvelously talented Emily Price. Emily, how are you doing, my friend?
Hi, Joe. I miss you. I miss singing with you. Thank you. I was expecting a better introduction, actually, so I'm kind of offended. But I want to say hi to everyone out there. We miss being together so much. That goes without saying. We miss singing together, but we also miss looking out into an audience and seeing all of your smiling faces, enjoying the music that we get to make together. It's such a hard thing. And I'm so thankful that Chicago a cappella gave me a reason to do my hair and put on a dress and feel like a normal person again and not in my pajamas. I think I can sum up my isolation quarantine experience by saying I've been trying to figure out how to make music by myself, which has amounted to a lot of ukulele songs. And, you know, what I've learned is, oh, just kidding. No, I'm not going to play anything. Don't worry. I'm just kidding. What I've learned is that there are many songs that don't actually sound good on a ukulele. So, you know, you got to figure it out, narrow that path. But it's been at least a good chance for me to like be creative at home, figuring out different ways to be creative at home until we can be together again. I'm so excited for all of the plans for next season. I really hope that everything goes forward. And our February program is really cool. It is going to be called A la Mode. It's our first program that has been created by our artistic director, John William Trotter. The program will be music that will be varied and interesting in that classic Chicago a cappella style. We'll give you a sense of what a musical mode is. Do you even know what that is? We're all still learning about things, and this is a great chance to kind of like explore that. We'll see how they've been used throughout the centuries in so many different styles, and how they really changed the sound world of music. It's going to be a really fun program. A couple cool things that I'm really excited about. We'll have a performance debut at the DePaul Performing Arts Center in Lincoln Park. So it's a new venue that we'll get to perform at. I hear it's really intimate and really beautiful acoustics. Another thing that I'm really excited about on this program is it's going to include a couple of Miles Davis tunes from the Kind of Blue album. And we're very lucky that our very own bass, Michael Hawes, happens to be a wonderful trumpet player. So he'll be with us on that program singing and then also playing trumpet with us backing him up. I'm so excited to get to sing that program. It's going to be so wonderful when we can be all together again. But until then, look for ukulele songs by Emily Price online. And then, until I find another instrument, we'll figure it all out. But let me send it over now to my other favorite tenor, Mr. Ace Gangoso. Where are you?
Hey, Emily, you're a tease. I wish you would have given us a little bit of that ukulele. I'm in Andersonville now. I actually just moved at the beginning of March. Unfortunately, further away from you, Emily, so I'm no longer just right down the street. But on the bright side, I'm a little bit closer to Matt and Garrett now. So, as I said, I've just moved here at the beginning of March, and of course, that was just before we were all ordered to stay in place, which, gave me a lot of time to get settled. And I say settled, but of course, shortly thereafter, we started to get all the unsettling news that concerts and events all over were being canceled. But Chicago a cappella was the first of the groups that I'm associated with in the city that said, in the interest of public health, we just can't go forward with our events. And as Megan said earlier, they were also the first to say, even though this is clearly going to be a tough time for the organization, we value our artists. And we're going to honor our contracts for the rest of the season. So it's in large part because of this that I can say that I'm doing okay, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful for Chicago a cappella, the singers, all of the staff, the board members, all of the supporters, and of course our audiences, which I know you can see us right now, but we can't see you, and we will hopefully soon. And you've heard about our plans for 3 of our concerts so far. Carrie mentioned at the beginning that the final concert next season will be the Swing, Swing, Swing program that we unfortunately had to cancel last month. We already had one rehearsal actually where we sang through the entire concert. And I can tell you that it's going to be great and a fun concert. It's going to feature music from the big band era with new arrangements by Patrick Sinizich, some of which he has arranged just for this program. Since we didn't get to perform that concert for you last month, we want to give you a little taste of it. Here's one song from that program, which we originally performed in 2016. This is Duke Ellington's Take the A Train.
I say you must take the A train.
Yeah, that was such a fun concert. I go back on YouTube every now and then and rewatch it because there's just so many great moments. Look us up, and of course, go to our website. Find our recordings, and maybe that'll hold you over until the next time that we're able to do this for you live. And seeing us all standing up there in our art and hearing that live audience really makes me miss what we do. So again, that swing program would cap off next season, and we're cautiously optimistic that things will get better so that we can finally sing this music again for you live. And in that clip, I think I saw Matt Greenberg singing up there with us. That needs to happen again. He sings a mean Elvis Presley, but right now he's going to tell you some more about coming to see us next season.
Yeah, thank you, Ace. Yeah, we didn't play my Elvis clip in that. I thought I'd spare you that, but it was so fun to remember that concert and see all of you all up there singing where you belong. And yeah, we've got some exciting programs planned for you, as you've just heard. And as Ace said, we hope that we're going to be able to do them exactly as planned, but obviously ensuring the safety of our artists and our audience comes first. This is just a very uncertain time right now. And so we have created a new ticketing option called the Flex Package. It's just 4 passes, and you can use them in any combination whenever you like during the season. You could use them all at the same concert if you want. You don't have to choose your dates in advance. You could even just show up that night at the concert without a reservation, assuming we're not sold out. Of course, we do also have our traditional subscription packages available if you'd prefer to get your tickets in advance, and if you like some of those other perks like the guest vouchers. But whichever package is right for you, this is really a wonderful way to support Chicago a cappella right now. Buying one of these ticket packages is sort of a vote of confidence that we are going to come back, we're going to come back soon, and we're going to come back strong. And when this is over, we are going to be so ready to go out and experience music and art and culture the way it was meant to be experienced live. So you can read more about those ticket packages and buy them at chicagoacapella.org. That's our website. And now, finally, I'm excited to welcome our special guest and our wonderful friend, Jeffrey Baer. You all know Jeffrey from his work as an Emmy Award-winning television producer and host on WTTW Channel 11 here in Chicago, where he has taken us all around the Chicago area and beyond with his wonderful specials about architecture and history. We've had the pleasure of collaborating with him artistically, and we're so grateful to have him with us tonight. Hey, Jeffrey, nice to see you.
Hi, Matt, and hi to all of you. I'm so happy to be part of this event. I hope my sound is okay. It's amazing to be part of this virtual gala, and I'm going to look forward to seeing all of you in person at next year's gala when we're going to do that tribute to Jonathan Miller. And unlike this year, all of the men will be wearing pants. Actually, we're all wearing pants now. I was assured of it before we started. I have to say, just as a side note, listening to Catherine talk about Studs Terkel, Of course, WFMT radio is the sister station of my television station, WTTW. We're in the same building. I often saw Studs in the building. And the first time I ever met him, he took me back into the library full of all these thousands of reel-to-reel tapes from all the interviews he'd done. And I was looking down the list of all these amazing names, and I spotted that reel-to-reel tape of Marceau. And I turned to him and I said, "You interviewed a mime?" And he said, "I couldn't get him to shut up." So, you know, goes to show you when they're not performing silently, they're happy to talk. And by the way, one of our attendees, Denise Mcintosh, I don't know if you saw it, put in the chat. I didn't know this. Today is Stud's 108th birthday. He was born in 1912. He used to say, the Titanic went down and I came up. His year of birth. Last year, I did have the opportunity to perform with Chicago a cappella. Lucky for all of you, my role was not as a singer. I narrated a program of songs relating to Chicago from across our history. And it was one of the highlights, I have to say, of my whole career. I really mean that. We TV people, you know, we're never in the same room with our audience. We can't see or feel their response. It's a little like tonight. And in fact, our work is often pieced together from bits recorded over many months, so it doesn't even feel like a performance at all in some ways. But my earliest roots were in live stage performing, and so being with Chicago a cappella really brought it all back to me, just how much fun and how thrilling it is to have you as a live audience feeling your response, and also the camaraderie backstage and in rehearsal. And I can say without exaggeration that I have never performed live with a group of more consummate professionals than this group. Their mastery of their art, watching their discipline in rehearsal, the way they adjust immediately when their directors give them notes, it was awe-inspiring. And we've already started talking about some future program I might be able to collaborate with Chicago a cappella on, and I'm just so excited about that. And I have to say another thing, working with Chicago a cappella, I noticed the essence of ensemble singing is that the whole is greater than the individual. And it takes such a spirit of generosity to put your ego on the back burner and blend rather than stand out. And it's even more impressive because when they do take brief solos, we hear that each voice in this magnificent ensemble is such a finely tuned instrument. Emily's mezzo-soprano, you think of like filling a room with hot chocolate, Megan's stratospheric soprano, Jonathan's subwoofer of a bass, Trevor's tenor as mellow as a clarinet, and on and on and on. If you can't tell, I'm a little starstruck. And I'm also, thanks to my experience with hearing this amazing group, I'm also a supporter. And we need to help these thoroughbreds keep in shape until they can all come back together on stage and perform for us again. And that means they need our support. In fact, Chicago a cappella's budget called for almost $75,000 in income from programs that had to be canceled this spring. Now, I don't have a tote bag or a coffee mug to offer in return for your contribution, as I do during WTTW's pledge drives, but your reward will be something much greater, a gift of music to yourself. Remember, you can use the link that was texted to you to make a contribution right now, or you can go to the website, maybe keep watching the live stream, but use your phone or another computer and go to the website, or afterwards go to the website, chicagoacapella.org, and make that contribution. And if that transcendent performance of Bridge Over Troubled Water wasn't motivation enough, I have to hear, we didn't hear that in rehearsal, and I was just stunned hearing it, as I'm sure you were just now. If that wasn't motivation enough, be sure to stay tuned until the end of this virtual event, because their grand finale, which I did hear during rehearsal, will just is killer. You just won't believe it. It's beautiful. It knocked me out. So, all right, enough from me. Here's a singer who's been with the organization since its very first season. Hello, Trevore Mitchell.
Hey, Jeffrey, thank you. Thank you very much for the introduction. I don't know that I've ever been compared to a mellow clarinet, but I will take it. Listen, it's been really, really something, what everybody's going through right now. But the opportunity to be with you guys again is really, really special. And I said this before, that one of the things that makes singing with Chicago a cappella and for this audience so special is the fact that oftentimes you sing concerts and the audience are people that you see that time and maybe never again. But having sung with this ensemble for so long, I've seen the same people, thankfully, over and over again, formed wonderful relationships. And it really is very, very personal to do what I love to do more than anything, and that is sing. And so I had my lull, I'm sure, like everybody else, when things that I had in flight got grounded. In particular, I was looking forward to singing the Rachmaninoff Vespers, the tenor solos in that. For the first time. It's been on my bucket list for years, and actually the second performance was to be tonight, but instead, it got canceled, but I have the opportunity to be with you guys. So I'm grateful for that. I, like everybody else, have found other things to occupy my time, being able to spend time with family via Zoom and other social media platforms has been very interesting. So we had a really, really great Mother's Day, to be specific, and there were about 37 of us on there, and it started out great, seeing everyone's faces and everyone showing off what they cooked, and then got less fun when 37 people tried to talk at the same time, so you couldn't hear anybody. But anyway, the gesture was fantastic. It really shows how all of us are really, really, really resilient. And as Jeffrey said, and as Matt has said, and other colleagues, we will be back in a more robust way than we ever have been before. And that wouldn't be possible without you guys and your support. Talking about purpose, and my mother used to always say, what should get you up in the morning is purpose. And so I came out of my lull and started back practicing every day and learning music. Don't know where I'll sing it, but I'm learning it every day. It's thrilling, feels great. But also in the vein of purpose, Chicago a cappella, as many of you already know, does so many things off of the stage that are equally as great as what we try to do on the stage. The outreach, particularly with students and younger people, has been amazing. And to see some of these kids now, young adults, on Facebook and other social media, doing things in music, some not in music, but to have seen them be touched by us is really, really special. And I'm grateful to have been a part of that. And so one of the venues that Chicago a cappella uses to reach that audience and that particular group of people is the Cabaret program that has become an annual part of our programming. And so have a look at this video right now and you'll see exactly what I mean if you've never been to one. So.
Chicago a cappella education and outreach programming is a really integral part of what we do in the community. Each year we work with hundreds of students in our various programs from all across the Chicago area. One of these programs is Cabaret Chicago, a very special program that focuses on the music and culture of Mexico. We bring a talented composer from Mexico to be a composer in residence at Chicago elementary and high schools. The composer writes new songs especially tailored for each school and teaches the students about Mexican music and culture, preparing them for a large-scale community concert at the end of the school year where they all perform along with Chicago a cappella.
I think the Cabaret program is very important, especially when I consider my students and the demographics of my students. I think, as I say very often, representation is important. So for my students to see someone that looks like them doing music, performing music, writing music, I'm hoping that it will open up their minds and open up their sense of what is possible for them to accomplish it within music.
Okay, for me, the Cabaret program is a necessary program. First of all, because I can express all the tradition, the culture, and all my country to people who doesn't know about it. So it has two goals. For example, the first one is that we have students that they are from Mexico, but they don't have the opportunity to express all this in the classes, so this is a great opportunity for them. And the other is the students that doesn't know about it. So I'm here to talk with them and teach them about the food, the customs, the tradition, and everything.
I'm really grateful for the Cabaret program, for Chicago a cappella inviting us into this experience to learn from Julio and other Mexican composers. To be able to just have a giving and receiving across cultures is so important. Now and during all times. I've seen my students' lives be altered for the better, and one can only guess the trajectory of that change, but I know in some part this has impacted it, and I'm just so grateful that we were the beneficiaries of this amazing program.
How can you be still through that and watch Julio with all of his energy and all the energy in the room from all those children? It really is so, so inspiring. I'm just sort of wiggling, watching all of them, really inspirational. So Matt, please tell everyone how we can keep Cabaret going and anything else you want to say useful about it.
Thanks, Trevore. Yeah, it was great to see you, and it was great to see all those kids. It just makes me realize what a privilege, really, that it is for us to be able to have this sort of impact on young people all over the city. We're constantly inspired by the difference that we are able to make in the lives of young people through programs like this one. And it's an opportunity for all of us to make a difference tonight. I should mention that some of those students we just saw, the kids from UIC College Prep, had actually planned to perform at our gala, our real gala, tonight. So that opportunity was just one of the casualties of this current crisis, but we're definitely looking forward to bringing them back into the program as soon as we can, hopefully next year. Chicago a cappella is committed to keeping all of these vital programs going. Cabaret Chicago, which you just learned about, our Youth Choral Festival, which is another way that we reach students all over the Chicago area every year, and of course our professional ensemble and the creative and innovative programs that we are planning. And we need your help to make it all happen. Our programs continue to grow. And since 2015, we've actually reached over 3,000 students with our various youth education programming. Despite the setback of this COVID-19 crisis, we must keep this going, and your financial support is critical. We just heard David Batdorf, that teacher from Golder Prep, mention that trajectory of change that he's witnessing with his students. And you can see from these comments that these programs do have an impact. Well, we want to make sure that that trajectory continues, that those opportunities continue to be available for more students in the years to come. Your contribution is not just a gift, it's an investment in our young people, in our youth. Now, you probably already know that ticket sales only cover a portion of our expenses. In fact, we rely on contributions from friends like you for about 40% of our operating budget. And with no ticket sales for canceled concerts, this support becomes even more critical. We believe that there is no greater connection in this world than music. It's how we celebrate the good times, how we mourn the sad times, and share our stories. It gives a voice to feelings, it transcends generations, and it integrates cultures. It changes lives. Now, I'm happy to tell you that we have already received some wonderful support from our Chicago a cappella friends and audiences since this crisis began. And tonight we have a great opportunity because several longtime friends have pledged to double every gift we receive tonight, up to $9,000. So we're asking each of you to consider making a gift of any size. You can just click on the link texted to you on your phone and donate right there, or you can go to our website, chicagoacapella.com/support, and make a donation there. Our website also lists other payment options for you. So I hope that you'll demonstrate your belief in our future and the future of these students with a donation. With your help, we'll be able to emerge from this challenge ready to present great music, great singing, and great programs for students throughout the Chicago area. Okay, we're getting close. Very soon, we're going to have our raffle drawing and our grand finale performance by Chicago Acapella, so stay tuned for that. And in just a few minutes, we're also going to share a toast, so get those glasses ready. But first, I want to pass it off to the person that made all of this, who's responsible for all of this, really, our founder and artistic director, Jonathan Miller. Hey, Jonathan.
Thank you so much. Warm greetings from me and Sandy out here in the western suburbs. Since we've been sheltering in place, we've been doing a couple fun things. I've relearned my two favorite cooking cuisines, Indian and Chinese. Sandy and I have now cut one another's hair twice. That's been an adventure. And last weekend, Sandy taught me how to knit. So much fun. But of course, I miss seeing all of you terribly. I'm especially grateful that in these trying times, you've taken the time to be here with us tonight so that we can celebrate the power of what Chicago Acapella does in the world, which is to lift our spirits with incredible musicianship and to inspire us to be the best human beings that we can possibly be. The need for that kind of inspiration never goes away, and your presence helps keep our presence in the world going strong. Also, on a personal note, since as you know, programming is near and dear to my heart, I want to give a huge thanks and shout out to Catherine, to Joe, and to John Trotter for your programming efforts for next season. It's a great thing for me to see our tradition of truly innovative programming moving forward and going strong. So I'm so grateful to you all. Now, as Matt said, and this being our biggest fundraiser of the year, we need your support to ensure a strong future for the unique musical experiences that Chicago Acapella gives to the world. Gifts of any amount at this gala will make a difference. So whether it's $5, $50, $500, or $5,000, together we will show our support from the arts at a time when we need it the most and keep Chicago Acapella going strong. So you can just click on the link that we texted to your phone and donate there, or you can always go to our website, chicagoacapella.org/support, and make a donation there. And thank you so much for your generosity to Chicago Acapella. Now, before I pass it back to Jeffrey Baer, I just want to say, Jeffrey, what a joy it was for me to sing in the ensemble and to be on stage with you for that program that you mentioned about the history of Chicago. It was truly for me also a high point of my career to be on stage, to sing Carl Sandburg's poetry at the Pritzker Pavilion, looking out over the Chicago skyline that night. What a thrill. I will always cherish that experience. And it was so wonderful to have a chance to work with you on that program as it is to have you with us here tonight. So, back to you, Jeffrey, from the subwoofer.
I just have a final word for you. The arts are so critical to keeping our spirits up during this challenging time. And that's really Chicago Acapella's gift to you tonight. So once again, don't forget to stay tuned for the grand finale. It's coming up moments from now. It definitely put a huge smile on my face when I got a sneak peek at it. And maybe it will tip you over the edge and convince you to give what you can to help this extraordinary organization weather this storm, come back better than ever. We need to show our support of the arts now, and especially for small arts organizations like Chicago Acapella. They make our city, our communities more vibrant and more livable. And remember that challenge grant that Matt mentioned, if you make your contribution tonight, right now, if you can do it right now, on my phone here, I just got a little text message, maybe you did too, with a little link on how you can support. Do that right now, and you'll be joining in with that challenge grant, or go to the website chicagoacapella.org/support. Okay, that's my last pledge break for the night. Matt, back to you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. You're really good at this. I don't know if anybody's told you that.
So are you.
You're very good at this. Thank you. We are about to draw the winner of our raffle. And I know a lot of you participated in the raffle because we had a fantastic response. So thank you to everybody who bought raffle tickets. Real quick, though, I do want to say a quick thank you, first of all, again, to you, Jeffrey, for your wonderful help tonight. And I want to thank our sponsor, Byline Bank, our graphic designer, Norbert Shimkus. I want to thank Paul Langford for the arrangement that you are about to hear and for putting both of our virtual performances together tonight. I want to thank our interns, Elizabeth Monty and Marley Volpe. Marley actually created that Cabaret video. Thank you both. Thank you to Ann Hewitt and Jim Parks and Dan Crimmins for your invaluable help. And a special thanks to Chris Baer, Sarah Badger, Jennifer Marling, and Maria Suarez, who put this entire event together on, I would say, rather short notice. Okay, now here we go. It's the moment many of you have been waiting for. Our grand prize in our raffle is $1,500 cash. It's our own little economic incentive. And I've got the drum right here. However you bought tickets, whether it was online or at a concert or through the mail, your ticket is in here. So here we go. There's a lot of tickets in here too. Mix them up, and I'm gonna reach in and grab one. I won't look. And, oh, we even have a drum roll. Listen to that. All right, I have the winner in my hand. It's Diane Quantock of North Aurora, Illinois. Let me see if we can
Woo! Congratulations.
There you go, Diane, way to go. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody for your support, everybody who's bought a raffle ticket, and for all of you for joining us tonight. I want to bring everybody back. Everybody, it was so good to see you all. You look great. And as we depart, I do want to propose a toast. Hope you'll all join me. Here is a toast to the wonderful friends, subscribers, and supporters that make Chicago Acapella possible. And here's to a bright future when we can all be together again. We hope very, very soon. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Thank you all.
Okay, and now as promised, here's a special performance that says exactly how we feel about all of you, our audience and friends. Thank you so much for joining us, and good night.
Listen, baby, you go mountain high, you down low, ain't no river wide enough, baby. If you need me from, no matter where you are, no matter how far, don't worry, baby. Call my name, I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry, 'cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, baby. Baby, yeah, I set you free. I told you you could always count on me, darling. From that day on, I made a vow I'll be there when you want me, some way, somehow. 'Cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, baby. Oh no, darling, no wind, no rain, no storm can stop me, baby. Can't stop me, baby. 'Cause you are in trouble, just stand for me, oh baby. No matter how, yeah, yeah, no, no, to keep me from you, baby. No matter how, ain't no mountain, baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, baby. Don't you know that there ain't no mountain high enough? 'Cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, baby. Oh no, darling, no wind, no wind, no rain, no wind, no winter storm can't stop me, baby. Can't stop me, baby. 'Cause you are never in trouble. Just stand for me, oh baby. No matter how you get, no, no, to keep me from you.